What up, YouTube? Ed coming back with, as you can tell by the title of the video, 10 predictions for the National coming up this week in Chicago. So, really looking forward to the National. This will be my 9th time attending. So, been around the block. I kind of know what to expect. But this year, I want to do 10 predictions just to see after the show if I hit any homers or if I struck out. But I do think it'll be pretty fun. I think it's going to be really insane. I think it's going to be hyperbolic, zany, whatever word in the nomenclature you want to describe it as. But let's get into these predictions. Without further ado, here's the 10. So the first one, I think it's going to break the attendance record. I said that a couple times on Big Scott's channel, but this year I just think it's going to blow 2023 out of the water. If you guys don't know, the National broke the record back in 2023 in Chicago. So the original record was the 90s in Anaheim. It was a little over 100,000, I believe. 2023 smashed that. And 2024, actually, I believe, still holds the record for the largest attended National. And that one was at Cleveland at the IX Center. Because I remember the week after that show, they announced that the attendance was marginally up from 2023. And then last year, 2025, they kind of never released any data or any attendance numbers on if it was higher than 2024. So I'm assuming if the attendance is as crazy as it's going to be this year, they'll definitely be more forthcoming with that. National kind of holds on to that data, like they don't really share it with us. But whenever they break a record, they tend to talk about it in a social media post, or they do let people know. So I do think this year it will again break the record, so the title will go back to Chicago. And I'm basing that off of just how crazy the hobby is right now, the overall fever pitch and appetite for card shows, but also because the VIP pass is sold out, the Super VIP pass is sold out, and also the 5-day early entry pass is sold out, which, as far as I know, that has never happened before. So just kind of a maelstrom of events, which I think is going to lead to a crazy attended show. Which brings into my second prediction, which out of all the predictions on here, I hope this one is definitely wrong. But if the weather does not cooperate, what I mean by that, if it's a heat wave, if it's hot, holy shit, we are going to sweat our ass off in that convention center because the Donald E. Stevenson Center has shown that they cannot handle a large crowd when it is very hot outside. And in 2023, everyone in there was sweating their ass off. Buckets of sweat all around. I remember they got the industrial size fans out. They got like those carpet cleaners out, those AC blowers. It was a mess. 2023, the convention center took a beating. Some of that was because of the old AC units, which I believe they replaced, but also because the weather outside was just craziness. So last year, 2025, we got very lucky with the weather. Wasn't too hot, was in the low 70s. It rained a couple days. I think the most it got was the mid 80s, so it was very cool inside. But if the weather gets warm, it's going to be hot. So hopefully the weather cooperates. We get great weather, low 70s, please, and we'll all be comfortable in there. So the third prediction, the trade nights are going to be insane, and there's going to I've been saying it for a while. I think a lot of people attend the National specifically for the trade nights. It just plays a huge economic factor into the National. It's a huge draw for the show, and it appeals to a large makeup of the hobby now. They love going to the card shows. They love flipping. They love making that easy cash that you can get at a trade night. And the best thing about it is there's no paper trail. So that is just so appeasing for a lot of people that are in the hobby now. And that's the big draw. I believe the trade nights are the big draw for the show. That's why they get the record numbers. That's why the National commands those record numbers. Is just because of these crazy trade nights that they have. And the demand for those trade nights well exceeds that the space that they have for those trade nights. So you'll see people lined up super early to get these passes. Last year they were selling some of these passes. People that got the passes were flipping them. So I think a lot more of that will go on, and a lot of them are going to sell for probably $100. I could see people doing it. So I just think it's just going to be pandemonium to get into those trade nights. Which brings it to point number 4. The most player that will receive the most transactions in those trade nights and overall for the entire show will not be Victor Wembanyama, will not be Aaron Judge. It will be good old Mickey Mantle, the number one, the Flippers hero, the one that is in the portfolio, the one that people love, the guy who makes the most bread. Seen a lot of craziness at some of these trade nights and some of these VIP lounges where people set up. You know, they'll put the 51 Bowman out there, cash only sign, or they'll put the 52 tops out there, which whenever you see someone trying to sell a 52 tops Mantle at one of these trade nights, or if they're just lounging the VIP and they just have it, you know, as you are, just sitting there with their little sign that says cash only, serious buyers only, firm. It's comical. It's funny. It's hilarious because, you know, people are just walking around with like 50, 60, 70 grand in their little cushy duffel bag. So all that stuff is very fun to me. I find it very hilarious. And Mantle's the king of that. So I think easily he will be the player that commands the most. And that you'll see the most at the show. And rightfully so. Number 5. The singles club will be 86th, will be liquidated by Thursday, probably at like 2 or 3 o'clock. So the singles club, great dealer. He has all the value boxes. And it used to be a lot of fun to go up, sit down for a couple hours, go through the boxes, find some hidden gems. Now you can't really do that because he gets bought out. Probably like last year, he got bought out by Thursday morning. So I think by, we'll say like 2, 3 o'clock, he'll be completely liquidated. So get to the singles club on Wednesday if you're going. Get there early. Number 6, and this one's a fun one. Those back pages, what up TDBP, will get a really cool Topps Black card. 7. Prediction number 7. The second floor is going to be better structured, but I also think the majority of dealers up there are going to be vintage heavy. I know there was a lot of fear mongering that it was going to be like TCG. This was last year. That was all going to be TCG and Pokemon. There was like really none of that last year. It was mostly vintage up there with a little bit of modern. I think it'll be very vintage heavy on that second floor. So I'm planning to go there on Wednesday just to see. But I think they're also going to, the logistics of that, they're going to obviously fix. The aisles are definitely going to be spaced, so it'll be a way better experience to go up there. Prediction number 8. There will be at least smash the over, take the over on the arrest. Every national, someone gets arrested. Some bozo goes there, some crumb bum goes there and always gets arrested. I think you're definitely going to see at least, we'll take the 2.5 over on the arrest. It always happens, every year. Someone's going to get arrested. Speaking of arrested, prediction number 9. You're going to see a ton of Knicks gear there. So that is the team that's going to be the most represented at the National, especially in the merch department and people walking around with their sports gear. Definitely going to be the Knicks. I'm expecting to see a lot of New York gear, a lot of Knicks gear. And the final prediction 10, and at the end of this video, we're going to end on a positive note. I think everyone's going to have a great time. I think it's going to be an awesome National. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a very hilarious National. And when you have friends in the hobby, when you have friends in this space, and when you enjoy the National with friends and the camaraderie and the war stories, it makes for a lot of great memories. And I really think this year in particular, with all the craziness that might ensue, it's just going to be a freaking blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think we'll be laughing about this National for many years to come. So I will see you at Rosemont. Take care. Have a great one. Stay frosty.